Hey everybody, it's Janice with Creating Through Chaos. I'm going to start this project off with these frames that I got at Dollar Tree. As you can see, this one didn't even have a back on it. This little stand was broken. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take off all of the backings, and I'm going to discard them and pull out all of the glass. Just kind of pull these all up. I'm just using my Cricut tool to do that. And then once I have them all up and out, I'm just going to take a pair of pliers and pull out all of those little things that hold the backing in. So I'm just going to pull all of those off. And I did this to all of them. And then I also washed down the glass really, really well. I didn't do that on camera because, you don't need to see me cleaning pieces of glass. Once I had those little pieces off, I did sand the little spots where I pulled those all out. And then I am going to take my antique wax and I'm going to stain these frames. And I did the front, the back, the sides, in where the glass was. I just fully covered them with the wax. You could stain them if you want, if that's your choice. I just did it with the antique wax, this applicator, and then I did a paintbrush on the inner sides of the frame because the applicator wouldn't fit in there. So I'm just going to do all of them like this and make sure that they're all covered evenly. And then you can take a baby wipe if you need to and pull off some of that excess wax. And as you can see, I got a brush. Well, it's a foam brush, and I just did the spots that I couldn't reach with my applicator. So once I had those all done, I'm going to let them fully dry. And then I am going to take some super glue, and I'm going to go around where the glass would be. And I am going to put some super glue down, and then I'm going to set my glass in there. And I'm going to do this for all of them. I ended up taking a paintbrush just to make sure that that super glue was in a nice thin layer and it wasn't all bubbling up and falling everywhere. I just kind of went around and made sure it was all even. That way, when I lay the glass in, it will have a nice even layer to adhere to. And I did this with all 4 frames. And I just wiped off the excess glue onto that baby wipe right there. And I'm just going to leave these, and I let them dry overnight. So I just got the glue all set, and now that they're all adhered, I'm going to take and start gluing them together. So I'm just going to take some super glue. I took one and laid it down, and then I added some super glue, and then I'm going to add some hot glue. And then I'm going to stand one of my frames up on one side of this, making sure that it's even and letting that set there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then I am going to do it on the side of these 2 frames that are sticking up. Again, adding some super glue and then a little bit of hot glue. And then I'm going to lay that frame right on top of that. And then I'm just going to let this dry as it is and making sure that I'm pressing down and getting a good adhesion. And I'm just going to let it dry and then work on my next part. So the next part of this is I took some jumbo craft sticks and I cut them to fit the bottom of it. And as you can see, I put some elastics around the frame just to make sure that it was being held. And then I'm just going to cut those to the size of the bottom, and then I'm just going to use my antique wax to stain all of them as well. And I did both sides because you're going to be able to see them. So once those were all dry, as you can see, the elastics I still left on there. I'm going to lay them out onto the bottom, kind of figure out where I want them, and then I'm going to start gluing them down. And again, I'm going to use some super glue and hot glue. So I'm just going to lay that all on the side here where this first one is going to go. Lay that down. And then continually add along the edges. And I'm going to do this through all of them. And it ended up taking, I believe it was 5. And I'm kind of making sure that they're all even and they're spaced apart perfectly. And then once they were adhered enough, as you can see, I'm just going to keep pressing them down. And then that is it. This project is finished. This was so easy. I got this idea from Casey at Roost and Restore. I thought it was so cute and I wanted to make my own. And now once you have it all done, you can fill it with whatever you want. I ended up using some greenery and added a candle to it. and I think it turned out so super pretty. I absolutely love it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this idea. I hope it inspires you to make one, and as always, don't forget to spread the chaos.